There's nothing bad about that at all. So money can produce power if it's used right and independence. But now, big functional power comes from organizational structure, goal orientation, all of those management tools, right? So this time, we going for power. Power means the ability to get things done. Not just the minority, not just telling everybody you should do good, don't be afraid of America. Okay, we're doing all that. We've shown them it could be done. But we're going to show them even on a bigger level what can be done. Because remember, we're going face to face. That's the difference between goals. That we have certain goals, and technically, there's nothing they can do about it except shoot you. They can't divert us. Why? Because that's the first thing Allah said. People that do all this stuff, they're going to be fortunate and lucky, but here comes the shaitan. Basically, it's saying, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." Similar to that in Ayat 36, is basically that. So, these ayats that we just read are giving us our direction. So we have permission to fight because we have been wronged. We haven't wronged anybody. So nobody can make us feel like, oh, you're doing it. It don't make no difference what they tell other people. We know ourselves. And it ain't nothing new. They did it to all the good mujahids. They did it to, if all the prophets get it, if they prophets of God, and you a Negro trying to do like prophets, what do you expect, dear brother? Right? I mean, but it's all there. So, we're following the guidelines. They respond to the call of prayer, but in matters of common concern, amruhu shura bainahum. Because see, dictatorship, Imam Jamilism is more normal and easier. You notice how regimented? It's unnecessarily regimented. Okay, that's okay. It's okay if that's what you want to do. We know that don't have nothing to do with people. If you take it out of the picture, they ain't gonna raise their hand to the wall. It's not bad, it's just that those are things for us to learn, although we may have learned it. So the access to all of the people of the world was what we needed. Allah knew we needed. We needed all the access to Iran. We needed Sri Lanka. We needed the African continent. We needed to view and review over and over and over again. That's why watching the fight film over and over again is good. You know, because pretty soon you can almost make your moves with the guys getting ready to throw this. You watch it so much that you duck sitting in the living room thing, ducking and moving, right? You can do it so. That's what we've done with everybody else. That's what we've done with the movement. But we thank Allah for the preparation. When tyranny afflicts you, we defend ourselves. We've always done that. But we're not going to let affliction and fitna cause us to miss the goal, where we become dictatorial, untrusting. Like we know how many people do whatever they do. This will be let's call it the 20th time. But we're going to trust everybody just like they're brand new. We're going to use a little more management skill. But everybody, whatever they want to do, we're not going to, those regimented communist organizations, FLN, all of them were brutal. All the nations, they were very strict on each other, strict guidelines, strict rules. You stole some money, they kill you. You know what I mean? You did a little snitching, they kill you. You didn't follow the guidelines from the chief, from the board of directors on down, you're in trouble. When they get power, the only people they're going to deal with are those people that was with them. And it's going to be a small circle. They won't be able to mobilize the energy of the country. We're not going to be imprisoned by that. But this process that Allah has taken us through is giving us the skill to manage all of these environmental circumstances. I'll speed up. So we have 10 expectations for this period. Number A is the Muslim Parliament in the USA. B, of course, we'd have emissaries and people going and listening and discussing. Media, movies, web, public relations, top quality public relations. Because remember, the management process of the Prophet, if you use harsh-hearted to the people, do the people need harsh-hearted? Yeah, Dar Hitler need harsh-hearted treatment. That's what they need. But we ain't going to treat them harsh-hearted. We're going to prevent them, we ain't going to let them kill us. But we're not going to be hard-hearted with Ridwan Jaka and all of them, with care. Care hid up in there, we went over that 3-4 times, right? We'll go back again before we go to California, but I mean, how, as white folks call it, asinine. How asinine can you get with your brother outside with a loudspeaker and you won't even come to the damn window? You shouldn't even waste this.
You call yourself Muslim, I mean, even if you disagreed with it, you would have to come out and give people salam or something, man. I mean, you just can't. I mean, you acting like we're not Muslims or something, man, or something's wrong. It's like, what's up?
It's unbelievable, but we did our part. Now, education. Educational, and it will be functional. Of course, it's training for the movement. One of the main things, remember, kindness, optimism, and humor. We'll have intensive Arabic. That's like a 3-month course. Tafsir Quran. I just review a few of our current and future programs. Okay, as we institute this, just right here, remember, this is a big part of what? Masjid Islamic fi America. Right? So, will the Muslim Parliament pop up out of the sky or from out of the earth? No. But we're going to institute these things. So, if it has 8 parts, 10 parts, we are already on the road by doing our part with what we have already in hand. So, re-Africanization of the Islamic movement, de-Israelization of the Islamic movement, battle space awareness, dialectical idealism, College of Islamic Movement Studies. So remember, if we're going to have diplomatic corps, right, if we're going to have emissaries, we have to teach them and teach ourselves where we're coming from, right? So College of Islamic Movement Studies, historical studies, various movements, strategic management of the conditions of repression, high quality physical fitness movement, Department of Strategic and Islamic Studies, Muslim cultural development and replacement, and even agricultural liberation. This is all part of the Muslim Parliament. If it has 8 wings, this is one of the wings right here, what we're talking about. All of it lead to education. Now, we start with educating ourselves. So all of us, whether it's 4 or 5 of us, we go through the process of education. We educate ourselves on all of this. We add in some Sharia, which we did before. So we'll have fundamental work. We'll do tafsir of Quran. Because tafsir of Quran, although everybody should learn how to read Arabic and write Arabic in a 3-month crash course like they had at Islam, gives you a working, you can use the Arabic English dictionary, and you have a functional, it's like trying to learn English in 3 months. You could be functional, you can know how to get around, right, but you won't be no big shot. But our study is Quran and Hadith. We don't want to be, although we'll have a little tajweed, we don't want to be show-offs. We want to be functional in the Arabic language. That's what we want to do. We want to be functional so that it improves our Islam. Okay, so a current and updated and refined reading list. I don't know if you remember our reading list from before. Okay, we'll update and refine the reading list. Now, in updating and refining the reading list, we will have to read the stuff ourselves. So, like, just think about person. If I do around one of these classes and everybody learn, then the next stage is for them to teach that to somebody else. You see what I mean? Or for y'all to teach it to somebody else. After one session of teaching a course, you're functional, you know what I mean? You got a feel for it, because if you run across one hadith, you go in the background. You know where if you got a paper here with your lecture, you done read 3 or 4 other books. So with our reading list, updated reading list, updated study, updated reminder of where the Islamic movement is, although we right on the money, but we want to improve even better. So, one cycle for ourselves will produce the process and the people, it'll elevate their readiness. They'll be like National Guard troops. They'll be, maybe not the best soldiers in the world, but they'll be ready. They'll have, okay, as usual now, our education is functional. We want our Arabic to be functional. We want our management to be functional. And also, our process of relating all of this all refers back to the Quran, all refers back to Hadith, all refers back to history, just like the ayah said, did they go around and see? We have the same process. And then our experience, okay, that's how we'll make it through all of this. It's through our experience. And even if we're dealing right here, we're talking about what the Quran basically says. We're not making up the program as we go. What we're doing is following the Quran, following the Hadith, and we are evolving the program. Right now, we're putting together a basic package, basically a working document. Working document is outline, guidelines, but not too many, The other thing I want to talk about, we talked about the power is the key element, that we are going after power because power means the ability to get things done, the power to defend ourselves. That's what the Hadith say, the Quran says. When they attack, they defend themselves. So we're developing organized body to do the whole function, to educate, to defend ourselves, and we're still at nonviolent resistance. This is strictly nonviolent resistance. And it's a clear Hadith program. If you see wrong, stop it with your hand. We don't have the ability. If you speak out about it, we have that ability. We're not, when we not, and we never have said it, just felt bad about oppression. Okay, now, that's what the Muslim Parliament is, the liberating body to defend the Muslim community. And we will use a lot of public relations, a lot of diplomacy. As we said, wealth has a lot to do with freedom and independence. But organization and mobilization, I used to like Kwame Ture. He was still Stokely Carver. No, he used to talk about organization. And he said, now, Martin Luther King was a great mobilizer. He could mobilize the people, but he didn't organize the people. You know, there is a difference between mobilization, right, getting the people out for demonstrations, right, getting the people here, getting the people there. Mobilization is big, but organization is bigger. Right. So we will concentrate a lot on wealth, freedom, independence, and organization. That's a principle of power in human history. It's really sad, but throughout history, if you were poor and weak, you didn't get nothing. You didn't even count people that no, nothing. I mean, they're just nothing. They don't exist. The army walks through and walks over your farm and eat up all your chickens and cows, and they just keep going. Right. Because you just basically a nobody. They're not nobodies to Allah. They're not nobodies to their friends and relatives in their village. But the Muslims in America and in the world need to be able to defend themselves. And the Muslims are not doing it. So that's our job. And also to organize on a higher principle. Maybe to incorporate these big shots into a higher level of organization and let them express themselves as far as they could go in that type of structure. Or, yeah, the stuff that they're not useless. But we have to be able to skillfully, it's not manipulation, but guide them into doing certain things that are Islamic, that could take pressure and heat off of us, that they could do. I mean, build ma'ruf means enjoining the right and trying to slow down the wrong they do. So in the meantime, if we have access to them, we'll be able to do public relations. We'll be able to aid them in self-esteem, all those type of things. Is it a little cool to you?
No.
It's okay. All right. So we're putting together that working document now. So it's our responsibility to have all type of councils and organizations, youth, General Assembly, women and children's issues, youth and student movement. See, we get billions of dollars. We'll be able to put people through our form of education. You know what I mean? Which won't take no time to do that. But then, if they're gifted enough, we can sponsor them an education in the white man's system, because we need some people in that. In every aspect of it. I mean, we can send some to Hollywood, we can send some everywhere. Go work with the Negroes, the black. Just carry their luggage, carry their cameras around. You know what I mean? Just take notes. Just be the gopher in a year's time, you got the game. Free employee, you just go there and you know. Pretty soon you'll be indispensable. Why? Because when they get there at 10 o'clock, you'll be there at 7 o'clock. When they leave at 5 or 6, you leave at 9 or 10, you know. Not arms, but a specific group of people who are diplomatic. Their job is to deal with the system. Not me, maybe sometime. But some people who we want to know what they got to say to us, and we'll tell them what we got to say to them. But as we go so big, we're going to have some contact with them, so we can try to present it where they see more benefits than harm. That's going to be impossible, but we'll try it anyway. And remember to achieve one of the highest levels of taqwa possible. Did that go off or something? Okay. That means moral imagination. We have to always strive for moral imagination. And anyway, all those things that have to be dealt with, homelessness, medical, we can coordinate our people with some of our doctors to be able to give 4 hours a week to medical clinic that we'll have open all the time. And we'll have, it'll just be free to the people, that's all. And we may be able to have enough that we can get in with drug companies, and if they can't afford, which they call them, some drug that they need, we could buy it for them. You know. Remember, we're a government, and this is strange that if you say you're a government,
No.
that means, well, now we're going to do all the things that a government do.
Right, yeah.
We're not going to call the government to say, hey, we need homeless shelters. We ain't going to call them like that. If they were able to say, y'all are doing a wonderful job, would you like to get a subsidy? We say our policy is there's a side door. You call at a certain time. If you want to donate to us, you come by and set it right on the porch or right on the door. I'll pick it up and go inside. I'm not signing no receipt. I'm not saying we're going to do this or we're going to do that. If you want to donate to us, that's what you do. But we're not trying to get on the white man's titty. You see, I was talking about when we say that we're moving to become a government. We went over some of our things now. Just us. When we go through this right here, ourselves, it's like the teaching and training program that we had on A Street and we had here. We collect all our stuff. Once we teach that program once, we gone out of our business, and all the brothers that have had the intensive Arabic and this, that, and another, and Tafsir Quran, will all be on a teaching level. We'll all be on a diplomatic level. But we was talking about some of the things that we wanted to do, that we're going to do with Allah's help. And it sounds strange because we're saying, matter of factly, well, we're going to get along with the fat cats because when we open a clinic, you know, like one of the houses may be a clinic, you know. Okay, we'll talk to their doctors. Hey, can you give 4 hours a week? Can you give 8 hours a week? Can you do that and that? Sisters that are nurses and so on and so, or office managers, can you manage the office on certain days, right? And we're talking about when the people get their diagnosis and their prescription, we will have the money that we'll buy the drugs for that they need. And it didn't hit me yet. That's what government should do. So as a government, we're going to do the things that government do. Now this is not way off. This stuff begins, all this stuff right here that we're talking about now. Our expectations, several of them begin during this year. I mean that relatively soon. That means that we're inaugurating our Muslim parliament, but we're growing our parliament. Although we say we start from the top, going down, we always start with us. We're starting with us. In my first teaching session, bam, we got 2, we got 4, I imagine somewhere around 4 or 5 of us. We're on a roll. We on a roll. So we will have already, all the arms that we're talking about, developing the student, this, that, the women and children arm, or institutional function. Hey, within 2 years, hey, by 2020, we'll be to knock this point. By 2020, we'll be way off into what we've been saying. Remember we talked about how it's like a brand new idea that's, hey, 2020, that's the way it feels all the time. That was just one while we was talking. But every morning it's like, I had a great idea. I want to do this stuff by 2020 and da 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 da. So that's where we are. That's where the Majlis Ashura Islamiyya fi America is. We have a lot of the work. Like when we put together all of our flyers and our As-Sabiqun, we'll be able to stitch together very formable teaching patterns. Because a lot of this stuff we've already done. Because remember, that stage was preparation for this stage. A lot of those stages was strategic management under conditions of repression. So strategy, planning, organization, to-do list, 2005, 6, 7, and 9, all of that stuff. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. So by 2020, by next year, as we talked about now, putting together a functional package, that's actually what we're doing right now. So, alhamdulillah. Are there any questions or comments about anything that was said? Masjid al-Islamiyya fi America. They are those who conduct their affairs by mutual consultation. Islamic government. Can you imagine? This is a real trip. It's a trip. I mean, if people like they think getting high is a trip, try this stuff here. Try working for God. If you're talking about a trip, it's a trip. Hey man, that's the only way this is a real live trip.
You know what the white folks say? Far out, man.
Far out, man. You talking about getting high? Hey, man. And what's good about it is this is for good. There is no harm in this to nobody. Whatever harm comes to any system or party or communist or socialist or leftist will be their own stuff. In fact, the Communist Party, one of the big guys in it is a friend of mine who was in the penitentiary together, and he really evolved in the Communist Party. So the Communist Party called me a few months ago. When I did that thing on Hitlerianism, they called the Communist Party down in California. Hey man, that was good. I said, well, y'all see the rest of them, they ain't probably paying no attention. They just like that Hitlerianism because Hitler moved on the Communist Party and when he set everybody up, so they like that, you know. But anyway, I'll close with this, dear believers. All y'all out there in
Never land. In Never land.
Yeah, y'all out there, hey man, we're going to start doing a lot of advertisements because we need a lot of help and a lot of cooperation. Before you send these hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, do a little check on As-Sabiqun, do a check on what we do with money and our history, so you feel comfortable. But we need a lot of money.
Research our credibility.
Yeah, you got to research, our credibility. So if there's we won't do no advertisement today, because I have a letter from home down in the refrigerator, and I resume my little semi 8 to 8, but whatever time I get out of here, I'm going to knock that one over. Oh, yeah, alhamdulillah. Okay, any questions, any comments? Okay, alhamdulillah, al-alim. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Alhamdulillah.